3, 2, 1, and we are officially live. I hope everyone had a fantastic Sunday. You had a good Sunday?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yeah, it was relaxed. I cooked some chicken adobo and meal prepped for my mom.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it does sound fantastic.
One thing I love me some Asian food. Regardless what it is, Chinese, Japanese steakhouse, some pho.
Yeah.
I love me it all.
It's probably top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Top 3 for sure, right?
Yeah, for sure. But that's great. Yeah. I know you had a pretty productive weekend. From your story, you went to the protest downtown in Jacksonville, which I think is pretty dope. Before we dive too deep into that, I do kind of just want to introduce yourself. I know of you, I just don't know you a lot like that. So you can kind of just give us a breakdown of what you do, if you don't mind.
Floor is yours.
Sure. I'm Elena Olander. I'm a visual artist working in the medium of mixed media illustration. I also have been doing murals recently, but I've been a full-time artist for 3 years now. And before that, I was a bartender for 10 years. So I used to sling the drinks.
Sling the drinks like that. What's the difference? Quickly, just to explain to us, what is a mural? Because I just learned that word like 2 years ago. I didn't know what it was before then.
Yeah, I mean, it's large public art. Different from graffiti, for example, that can be illegal. This is illegal with permission from the city or building owner to create a public piece of artwork.
Oh, that's super interesting.
Yeah, so I seen some very cool murals, especially downtown. I think my favorite though is, I don't know what they call. I don't know who did it. I don't know what they're called. But going over the Green Bridge, those silos.
Oh,
there's two people
so
there.
Cool.
Yeah, so
I
dope.
liked it.
And from my understanding, those two people are also kind of activists, local activists. That, because I don't know who did it. If y'all know who did the art, it's dope. Do you know who did the art?
I do not know. No. I think it was part of Art Republic's large public art mural curation.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, if you don't know what Art Republic is, check it out. It's online.
I definitely won't. I don't know what that is.
That's super nice. So, I mean, obviously, you've been in the space for, you said it was about 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Where did art start for you? Like, when was that?
Oh, gosh. I mean, in terms of full-time, 3 years ago, but I kind of made artwork all my life. It was more of like a catharsis to deal with whatever kind of stuff going on in my past. It's just my escape, but maybe also an outlet to express myself through the work. But maybe in my teenage years, I got my first art classes, and then I took a long hiatus. I was focused on trying to go to school, make a living as a mother, and not sure if art would be a sustainable living. So I kind of held off on it for a really long time.
Now, let me ask you a personal question, and please don't be offended by this.
I will not be offended.
Because you just said you have a daughter, and you said 10 years ago you're serving drinks. You look super young.
Oh,
How old are you?
I'm 31, almost 32.
Wow, beyond me. Yeah. I thought you were like your early 20s.
I mean, that's so sweet. Thank you.
So I think it's dope because a lot of people say art is like an outlet, which you explained beautifully. And with your art, I think it's so dope. What separates you with other people locally, you have like a style and like a kind of like a Japanese style.
Yeah,
and I love that. It's so dope. It's very what's the word? It sticks out.
Okay.
It sticks out, and
thank you.
Yeah. So, what did that inspiration come from? Like your background or? What inspired? Yeah, what's like this? Do you watch anime?
Oh yeah, I consume too much anime. It's almost embarrassing.
What's your favorite anime right now?
Well, for the longest time, it's been One Piece. That's one of my favorite anime. I've watched it for all the episodes. I'm caught up, so it's 25 years worth of episodes. So
I can't do that.
That's wild. 25
I love
years.
them.
I can't anymore. I stopped following One Piece. It was too much.
Yeah.
I had the mangas raw, but anime, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, no. Well, you're reading the manga, so.
Oh no, I don't read the manga either. It's too long.
Okay.
My man gave up on it.
No, yeah. But that's dope. What's your favorite art piece that you've done? Is it like
And is it on your Instagram? So,
Yeah.
so
Oh
I
my
can see
gosh.
so
it.
we can see it?
Yeah, favorite art piece I've ever done that I will not sell because I love it that much. It's called Umibozu. So it's on my Instagram. It's also on my website if you want to find it there. You
Yeah.
might have to scroll back pretty far on Instagram.
Oh yeah, we need to put that
find it.
website on
Yeah,
the
what's
link.
your website?
www.elenaolander.com.
Oh, you probably is it on Instagram?
Is the piece on Instagram?
No,
your
it's
link,
like
the
your
link to your
link.
website.
Yeah, it's a link tree, so you'll have to find it through probably my shop.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll still take you to my site though. But yeah, as far as the Japanese influence in my artwork, my daughter is half Japanese. So myself, I'm Chinese and Norwegian, and living that hyphenated life as an American, Asian American, you know. But I think when I was in my teenage years, I took 2 years of Japanese language. I just got lucky and lived in Kansas for a little while and was able to take such classes because, you know, maybe in most high schools, the most offered is like French, German, or Spanish. So it was kind of a unique situation. And I fell in love with it. I was already watching tons of anime, so it felt easy transition. And then my daughter came along, and years later, when I did make the leap to go full-time as an artist, I didn't have a direction in the work. It was just expressing myself. I didn't have any clear understanding of what I wanted to create. Just knew that I was talking about feminine identity, and I started adding Japanese context to the work. And my daughter at the time was quite young, and so she would come over and see me working on a piece, and she would ask me about it. She'd be like, oh, what does that character mean? Or what are these, you know, symbols? Or who is this character representing? And I would break it down for her. And in a way, her and I were connecting about culture and heritage that's meaningful for her in a way to preserve it.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. No,
It was very lengthy. But
yeah, a lot.
No, I
intake.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So what was the name of the art piece, real quick, so we can get it pulled up on your website?
I have it. Hold on, you can
If you're looking on my website,
kind of see it right here, and
it should be under, I
direct
think
me.
I'm going Japanese is the body of work. So if you scroll down a little bit on the right, and then if
then. Oh,
you,
okay, I see. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get. Give me one moment, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Try to get it.
No, hurry up.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Okay, so let me kind of. All right. Oh, that's really good though. I like that. But which one is it?
Which one was it
Thank
specifically?
you. It's called
dope.
Umibozu. Do you
That's
like
fine.
Kiki?
Yeah, that's why I think it's dope.
Yeah.
Wait, so we can buy this?
Some of them
Well-
are for sale. Some of them have already sold, you know, in the past. So
Uh-huh.
this is just a portfolio. This is it.
This one?
Yeah.
Wow.
This one is my favorite.
So what were you
That's
trying to
amazing.
express here?
Well, Umibozu is, going back to the Japanese context, is related to kind of a mythological story
That's what I thought. Yeah.
of like sailors would go out to sea, and then this monk became part of the ocean and going to hunt you and keep you from your destination. So there's that aspect, as well as like a darkness. There's no real imagery to go together with those stories, so I'm kind of, you know, imagining it myself. And then the waves are kind of turbulent, and the sea can be so vast. And then on the sail, it says yume, which is dream. And then oki no yume is down underneath the boat, and that means really big dream. And then all of these like treasures and papers on the boat represents life and death, and also like past, present, future. So in a way, I was kind of talking about my artwork and my journey as an artist, and how it is a huge unknown, especially if you want to sustain a living. I would still make work regardless if whether or not I made money from it. But it would be nice to do what I love for a living.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah, no, I think it's really dope.
Thank you.
especially no, thank you for blessing us with
pleasing,
awesome.
pleasing our eyes.
So as of right now, is it sustaining like your? Do you have to work on the job, or this right now is doing?
No, I am a full-time artist, so everything I do is for myself.
That's nice.
And I get commissions, or I sell work through galleries, or I get mural work from time. Although that's a new thing for me.
So I'm guessing you're really happy because I mean you're obviously doing what you love, and it definitely shows within your content. So I mean I'm happy for you, to be honest. There's few people in the world that get to actually do what they love for a living and get paid.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I wouldn't call it like starving artist, maybe like hungry artist.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Yeah.
But that's a mind. I feel like that would be a mindset for you, like throughout your whole career in art.
Yeah.
Right. Just that's how you would progress.
Give it to me straight. What's the highest your a piece of art sold for you?
Highest piece of art. Well, I wouldn't say I have a highest selling piece, but I did sell $10,000 worth in one sale.
Whoa! So like that's like.
And that was actually Pilot Pen USA is a company that's Japanese pen company.
Mm-hmm.
They make like those G2 Pilot pens. Like most people love them.
Yes, I can't write without them.
They also make a line of creative materials. And last summer, I had the opportunity to work with them and do like kind of a promotional, I don't know, not advertisement, but like a promotional type of series of work, utilizing those materials. And initially, there was no real understanding of, are they going to buy some of this work? What is happening with the work after I make it? But it was in a magazine spread for 66 magazine. It's like an art and design magazine based out of Chicago. And they loved it so much that they bought quite a few of them.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's in their headquarters here in Jacksonville, Florida.
That's dope.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I didn't know that Pilot Pen USA has headquarters in Jacksonville.
Yeah, and you learn something new every day because I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Where's it located? No, you know, I'm joking.
I mean, you can Google it and it comes up. It tells you the address.
That's awesome. I wanna say that I'm doing what I'm getting paid to do, like what I want to do, like photography maybe, or even other stuff. Like my other passion, like podcast. If we get this podcast to like sustain our expenses and all that, that'd be dope to say. And you're doing it, so that's really cool. It's really cool. I cannot commend you enough. I think
You're
really
somebody
dope.
you look up to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
And if anything else, I don't know if you're gonna be a best guest because we have some pretty dope people.
Yeah, of course.
You're probably the nicest because you did give us Japanese candy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Put it to the camera.
some Japanese candy. Shout out. Actually, I had Japanese candy before. I don't think I ever tried this before.
I never have.
But well, I tried it from like Disney World, so I don't know if that's
I'm gonna be breaking my
true
virginity with
Japanese.
this.
It is. All right.
Was it from Epcot?
Yeah, Epcot.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, sounds good to me. Those little teddy bears like with chocolate inside. Is that
like
Japanese?
pandas?
Yeah.
I am so
Yeah,
lost.
koalas?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are authentic.
Okay. Yeah. Then you tried before.
I have.
If you go to the Chinese store, little koala bears with like chocolate filling or strawberry filling.
My memory's awful. I probably did try it.
You ate it so fast and it was
It was
so
probably
good.
delicious.
They're
I
good.
just forgot
They're,
about
they're
it.
so good. Yeah. Mexican candy are kind of like it's very different. Mexican candy, it's kind of more like almost like more bitter. It's not more sweet
Ooh.
because it's like more spicy stuff.
Yeah. They eat
That sounds
spicy
good.
pretty much everything.
Hey, maybe I'll get you some if I ever go to Mexico.
It's so interesting how culture show. Like when you came in the door, you took your shoes off, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
that's
saw
so
them.
unique.
Yeah. You see these? I got shoes on right now.
Yeah, we both do.
And you took them off. So.
I mean, I had to. I just didn't want to walk in your house with shoes.
But we're American, so.
You're American.
No, come on, you, come on, you're American.
We still walk in Cuba with our shoes on.
All right, never mind. But yeah, I think it's really cool. Definitely, I'm gonna. I say this but I never do it. But I'm gonna do it right now, so I won't forget it. What I mean to say is I'm gonna add your links on our on this video.
Oh, cool.
I always say I'm gonna do it, but I never do it, so I'm gonna do it right now.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored.
No, we're honored to have you.
Yeah, no, we really appreciate your time coming here. I mean, your art is absolutely stunning. I honestly, I took a glance at your Instagram page right before we got here. Like I was just running around all day, but I was fairly impressed. And it definitely shows within your background like how your art has become as far as where you draw your inspirations from. So I think that's really dope.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm gonna put your Instagram. Does your website go to like your shop as well?
Yeah, you can see all the links at the top from my portfolio to my shop.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it says shop on the top.
I did. Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to get all your stuff here.
Thank you.
I'm going to Instagram right now. Yeah, like I said, I always tell my guests I'm gonna put your stuff in the info. I never do. So
except their Instagram, right?
Yeah, except the Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay. I'm grateful to be here. So.
All right. First thing people see.
So let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
As far as setting goals, and especially after you showing me that that I guess that what would you say drawing?
Yeah.
Right after seeing that drawing.
Is it a painting?
Is it a painting?
Gosh, it's mixed media, so it's hard to say. Yeah.
Well,
piece of art.
I wasn't incorrect nor incorrect.
Visual art.
Visual art.
Your art.
You go. So after seeing that, that piece of art, and obviously seeing what the message was, which was dreaming. I saw a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you say you would want to be with your art, and is yourself as kind of like as a representative of art in like the next 5 years, if you could shoot out there?
Gosh, 5-year plan. Goals probably would include having exhibition in LA. I feel like my work's aesthetic kind of great for the market that's over there. I think that people are more open and receptive to illustration, bridging the gap between fine art. So I think maybe that. And then what else? To be able to have more reach than just LA, like on the larger scale, and but still be able to work from wherever I'm at. If I'm here in Jacksonville, I can ship my art to exhibitions somewhere else and not feel like I have to physically be somewhere to represent my work. Let the work speak for itself.
Right, and that can absolutely be done online, right? Would you say that's probably one of your main platforms, where would you say your art sells the most?
Sells the most through gallery exhibitions. But
okay.
I do get a lot of exposure and opportunities through social media.
Right,
that's for sure.
Right. Do you do any sort of marketing for yourself or networking or?
If hashtagging counts, then yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it counts.
It's a portion of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't pay for any kind of marketing, if that's what you mean. No.
All right. No, I mean, I saw that you have about 7,700
followers,
something like that, right?
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Right.
I mean, unless they're lying.
Which is, I mean, it's a pretty good following, especially, if you're not like, are you doing like any shout outs or anything like that, or are you just purely going off the hashtags?
I mean, what do you mean by shout outs?
I guess you don't do.
Yeah, no.
I guess you don't do.
You don't.
It's like, it's a form of Instagram market. Well, it's a form of like social media marketing.
Networking in a sense
Networking
too.
That you just get people to, I guess, post you on their page, so it reaches their audience.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. So I guess you don't do it because you don't know what it was.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, I do share other people's work that I like, but I have no expectations in return.
That's right. Yeah, that's like you expect them to post you back. But I did that for you as well. I saw your work. And like I said, the only reason I found you was because a friend. She told me who it was, so I was like, you know what, I wanna show this to people. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. We went to one of your artworks. A little, what do you call it? A little box. It was a.
Was it the Daruma?
Yeah.
Or
the
was
box.
it the box?
The box.
The box is a geocaching box.
Geocaching.
Yeah.
I
Which
thought it
is
was
a
dope.
thing. I didn't know about geocaching until I did the box. Do you know what geocaching is?
I am ignorant to it.
I don't know. I know the box, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What is it?
I painted this box because a person who runs a Jacksonville chapter of geocaching is essentially a treasure hunt. So it's like you can be part of this geocaching community, and there's all these boxes in hidden places all over the city.
Oh, really?
And you can go find them, and you can like leave something, you know, meaningful behind, and takes one thing from it. So it's like always something new and different inside, like a special rock or like, I don't know, whatever you want to leave in there. I mean, within reason. Maybe not weapons or something. You know, like
Hopefully not weapons.
something
yeah.
sweet, you know, like cool thing.
So, well, I found it. I found your geobox,
Yeah.
geocache, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is dope. So I definitely wanted to. I posted my story and I tagged you, because I thought it was I liked it and I wanted other people to see, your dope work. And that was the first night I thought of you. First night
You've been thinking about me.
I guess so.
Thank you.
Subconsciously. But it's the first time I found you out, like found your work. So, I put the name to the work,
Right.
to the art. So I was like, you know what? I want to be able to, you know, show it to my followers and stuff like that. So I think that's one of your biggest form of marketing. Do you have a lot of people share your work?
I mean, I suppose, but I didn't know that it was some kind of shout out. I didn't know that that's what that's called.
Yeah, no, people do that. So what they would do is they would shout out each other's content in order to reach their own audiences.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you should reciprocate as
Right.
a form of kindness.
Yeah.
There you go.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, but it would definitely
It
be
would be
nice.
nice.
It'd be nice for sure.
Yeah. Not just oh thanks and then move on with your life.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but people do that like as a way to, you know, grow their Instagram to reach a wider audience, which is, I mean, in a sense, it's pretty nice until you have like 8 to 10 people on people's stories to doing shout outs.
Yeah.
You know,
You can start. It starts to
Oversaturate?
oversaturate. That's the word.
Exactly.
Saturate people. Someone's own content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Someone does that. But
Sounds like a balance that's difficult. Like you can't really control that, can you? I guess.
you can not do it.
I guess, yeah. I
Or you can
suppose.
moderate
That's
it.
true.
Or just do
Yeah.
like 1 or 2. That's it. But if you do a lot. But hey, some people, that's some people's grind. It works. So
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, especially if your business is online, a lot of people they need to get that social media marketing up,
Yeah.
and that's typically one of their ways.
Yeah, I mean it's free, so makes sense.
exactly
why
it.
They would put some effort into it.
Yeah, it's free value if you think about it, right? Because it's an exchange of value that there's no payment in between. So I guess the value is the exposure.
I get it now. I've learned so much already.
Well, one thing I did want to point out about your artwork, it's very, how to explain it? First of all, it looks like you're actively doing it. How
Yeah.
just to kind of quickly answer, how many like hours of your day are you working on your art, perfecting it?
Oh
Are
my
you?
gosh.
Is it like an everyday thing?
It
Are
is
you,
an everyday thing.
oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing I wanted to mention is that, ever since making the transition to being full-time, being where I'm at right now, you almost have to be relentless. You know, I am my own boss. I make my own hours. It's flexible. But a good friend of mine once said that if you do the thing you love, you'll never work a day in your life, except that's not true. You work harder.
More, you work more.
And
too.
I think that's absolutely true. Like I've worked more than I've worked ever in my whole life. If I'm on my phone, I'm probably working. If I'm at home in between cooking dinner or doing laundry, like I'm, going back and forth between the studio and like several pieces I'm working on, or I'm, talking to a magazine about interview or the news, or like there's always something, whether I'm submitting to an exhibition or a magazine or grants and things of that nature. The grind never ends. Like I feel like I haven't taken a break yet. Like I just hit the ground running, and I think you kind of have to be that way.
Yeah, I think typically with that saying, there's the other side of the spectrum is that, if if you're not doing something you love, it's a chore, right? And that's where, that's where now it is work, because you're having to not be happy through the process, and that's kind of like death in itself, to be honest.
I mean, I don't like administrative end of being an artist. I think that's one thing maybe I had no understanding of walking into it, is that, oh, I have to do paperwork, I have to respond to emails, I have to maybe find an intern because I can't do all of this shit. And also, like, so if there's an intern out there interested in interning for Elena Olander, please call me. No, but, and then also, like taxes. We have to do taxes.
At the end of the year, right?
Yeah, like people buy my stuff. Now I have to do taxes and I have to pay when before I would get money. It's just complicated.
Yeah, people don't realize that. Like, I didn't want to ask because it's more personal. Well, I didn't want to I'm just say it. When you said you sold like 10,000 on a gallery, was it?
That was a pilot pen.
That was a pilot pen.
That's what it is. You didn't get taxed, right? You're gonna get taxed at the end of the year. That's what it is.
Oh, I have sales tax.
Sales tax is what it is? Okay.
Reconcile, with the
okay.
IRS, or they come for me. I know it's not astronomical money, but I mean.
Oh, but still, yeah.
They will come for you. That's
they will
a fact.
come for me, so I have to claim that shit.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to. It's all under the table cash money, but I can't.
Uncle Sam will come for you.
Yeah.
He doesn't play about his money.
No.
He'll get it before you do.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's guaranteed in life. It's taxes?
Taxes, death.
No, it's something, taxes and death.
Anarchy? I don't know.
I forgot. It's a saying.
Didn't J. Cole say something like that?
Do you know that saying?
What, like the constants in this world
There's like three things
you can't avoid in life.
It's like three. I'll think of it somewhere. It'll come to me.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. So, we talk about your artwork. Oh, my point of saying that you're always working was because it seems like you also your art is also very what's the word? It's very I don't want to say like pop culture. It's very I don't want to say trendy either, but it's very
street stylish.
No. It's like it's like very current because you have a lot of on some of your recent portfolio. You have like a lot of like COVID-19 inspired art.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I think it's dope. You don't.
Thank you.
Like, I guess trendy is the right word because you see like let me show you here.
Based on current events.
Yeah. That being said, have you done like any in the past, like you said like 3 years ago? I want to say like any like protest themed, because I saw you do protest yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you have like any protest themed art that have you done before you want to do?
I haven't done any yet. Oh, sorry. I haven't done any yet, but I'm allowing that space and place and experience to tell me if it's time to make the work or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I saw your story. You were in the protest yesterday. How long were you there? And were you there before? Before they started like rioting and stuff.
Yeah, I was there at the very beginning. It began at 3:00. And I stayed until about maybe 4:30, and so I think the rioting didn't begin until after 5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was quite moving to see so many people come together despite differences or despite what is that called, the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's a big one. It's kept people socially distant. So large gatherings to, protest in a way to promote positive change it surprised me how many people showed up in solidarity and were quite peaceful, at least when I was there.
Yeah, first, yeah. And that's what I want people to take away, that it started as being peaceful protests before chaos erupted, and if you look at numbers, I think it's annual report from like 500 up to even 1,200 people that were there.
Altogether,
Jax?
Yeah.
Wow,
I think I saw numbers that swayed into 3,000.
3,000?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, I did not see that. That's crazy.
I mean, throughout the whole time.
Oh yeah, I think
people came and left. stuff.
Got you.
So what's your take on the well, obviously, you know, at the beginning you said that it started, you know, it's a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the rioting, excuse me?
Oh gosh, such a controversial question.
It is.
But you know, it's not my place to tell someone else how they should protest when they're outraged about such an injustice going on. So with that being said, what we see in the news reports is what happened, but not what led up to what happened, what instigated the situation, outside of obviously being frustrated and hurt and anger, you know, penetrating through everyone's energy about all of these injustice. It's, you know, I wasn't there, so I can't speak to, you know, what instigated that, but I suppose I absolutely feel that material things are not as valuable as someone's life.
Yeah.
For sure.
I can see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And with the media and social media, they're highlighting protests that are converting to riots because that's what get views. That's what get. But they don't really mention how in Denver there's multiple protests that don't escalate to riots.
Yeah.
They don't really highlight those because that's not what's getting them the views.
Yeah.
Like in Denver, they there's people that lay down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. They laid down.
I did see some.
You saw that?
Or sitting.
Sitting.
I've seen both.
Yeah, and North Carolina. Even there's. I'm not sure if you knew, or if you knew in general, J. Cole was also protesting.
I saw a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I
in North
didn't.
Carolina, Jaylen Brown. He's a basketball player, an NBA basketball player. This guy has millions. You know, he doesn't. Million. He has millions. He's a millionaire. He's out there also in the front lines protesting with people in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon, I can't say his name, also an NBA player. I think it's dope that these I don't say celebrities, artists they don't just tweet and say that we gotta do this. They're doing
Taking
it.
action.
They're taking action.
Yeah.
And that's very awe-inspiring. You see with this whole protest across the country. Sorry, I'm going a little tangent, but
Go.
across the country, you see a lot of, for better or for worse, you saw a lot of remarkable things. You saw, I'm not sure if you kept up with it. You see these police officers kneeling as well with the protesters.
I've seen some images.
You see these police officers protesting as well. You see a lot of what's that word I'm looking for? Solidarity.
Solidarity.
So yeah, like where they coming together.
Yeah.
Police officers and protesters, they're hugging. But you also see some truly horrifying stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I just think with something so complex like that, there's no right way to do it. Well, there's a right way to do it, there's a wrong way to do it, but there's no easy way to do it to get everything, fix things.
I don't think violence is the way to approach this situation, though. You can't fight fire with fire.
Yeah,
it never works.
No,
it especially as you can see now within the videos and the with the riots and stuff like that. It's not going to be beneficial for either party. There's always a better way to do things. You just have to analyze. We can all agree that there's something wrong with the system, right? We can't disagree with that, and we need to work towards it. Violence is simply not the answer because we've seen what violence does. Violence gets a man killed. We saw it on a video, a 10-minute video of a man wrongfully getting killed, an execution. And that's what violence brings. Yeah. And this is what people need to understand, because there are other people who are being affected by this now, not just Floyd, right? There's business owners. There's people in communities that are being affected by this who did no wrong whatsoever. And, because, there have been riots and this and that, they're being affected, which is, I feel like, is an injustice in itself because they did absolutely anything. And that's my viewpoint on that. And that's the reason why I wanted to ask you, because a lot of people are supporting these violent, because it's a crime. Let's not look at it any other way. This is what some of these people are doing, a crime, especially if you're looting. That's an excuse. So I mean, I personally feel hurt because there, a crime. How would I say? Police brutality is very real, right? Not throughout all the cops, because there are cops out there who are putting their life on the line every single day, right? And we kind of have to respect that in a sense. I'm not saying that there are any corrupt cops, but it's just it's an overgeneralization of what the media provides. You know, kind of like Jesus was talking about. The highlight is the negative, and so that's what gets the views and the money for the media. So I just think we all need to come together properly, and if we're going to protest, we need to do it civilly, and especially because if people are comparing these riots to MLK, Martin Luther King, and I think that's a disrespect in itself, because you never saw any of these things happen. I mean, you saw the retaliation of white people back then when there was racism, but it was always a peaceful protest, and it got to more than they just needed unification of a bunch of people, and they got it accomplished. Which back then it was even worse. There's massive inequality. Now we're progressing, but we just needed we need to find a better alternative to these protests and how we're actually taking an approach to them, because more people are just coming out hurt, right? And it's just not helping anybody. That's my viewpoint on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a complex situation with many perspectives, some of which I can't relate to. I can't empathize because, I may be brown, but I'm not black.
Yeah.
Right? So I can't speak about black existence and understand how it must feel to not have any justice and to fear for your life every single day in a place where you feel like you shouldn't have to feel that way. And I don't think anyone should. But if you take a look at Martin Luther King and you take a look at Rodney King and what happened in the early 90s back in LA, I think, those riots did happen. And yes, there were, looting and burning and all kinds of, damages sustained in the area. But it was their way of expressing their unrest because having peaceful protests didn't bring about the positive change.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that necessarily violence is the answer, but also the peaceful protest approach isn't working, and it hasn't worked from the very beginning. Yeah. Unfortunately, otherwise we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
No, I agree with you. Without, like you're saying, without condemning or condoning, riots have a place I think riots have a place into evoking change. That's what I think. I could be, like I told him, I was like, if it wasn't for the riots initially, I think that police officer would still not be arrested. I don't think he would have been arrested. Even the DEA said typically when it comes to an officer like murdering someone on line of duty, he even said himself, it typically takes like 9 months for him to get arrested. He got arrested within 3 weeks, a month?
Yeah,
so,
which is still a long time considering
correct. Yeah,
the
evidence.
circumstances, and having video, like you said. I actually didn't watch the video because
I can't watch. I watched
I just cry.
Yeah, it was hard. I watched
I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I watched a minute. I was like,
I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch the whole thing. Again, there's no right answer to how to solve this problem, but I think that there is, in a sense, which is unification of everybody. Rioting and you guys definitely may have a point as far as the action that was taken based on the rioting. I'm not disagreeing with that in any sense of that. I just think that we just need to find better alternatives, just because there's other people who are getting hurt, and they don't deserve it. The rioters, whether it be the rioters or third parties on the other side, which would be like business owners, and some of these business owners are local, part of the community who have worked like countless years
and
to
some
build.
are black,
right? Exactly.
Black too,
so again, I'm not putting race into any of this. I'm just I'm looking at the actions, right? That's all I'm looking at. And I understand. Actually, hold on. I don't understand, because personally I'm not black, right? I can't say that I do understand within that sense. I'm just looking at it, from I guess a third point of view, right?
Of course.
within my perspective.
I think all of
We
us
all
in
are.
our room are, in
We
this
all
room
are,
are,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's hard to fully understand and try to find a positive solution for the outcome we all hope to have, which is that unity you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's a truly tough situation.
Yeah, and as you said, it's peaceful protest is not working. The an NFL, you know, Colin Kaepernick, NFL player,
Yeah.
need, and that was peaceful as peaceful can be. He wasn't hurt. He was literally not doing anything. He wasn't hurting anyone. He just took a knee, and that got him essentially got fired from the NFL. He can't find a team anymore, and people got mad at that.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, I don't understand. What at this point, what else can you do? He can do this peaceful thing, and he consulted with like a military member. He's like, what's the most like peaceful? What's like the most like non-offensive way I can do protest? You know what we're talking about right now, which is police brutality towards black people. And he consulted with someone, a military member, and that's what he did. That got him fired from the NFL, and just got him so much hate. So like, what else can you do? You know, like I said, I don't think it's the clear-cut way to do things. You just, as long as you get that message out there, that's a good start. You know.
Yeah, I think that there are multiple points in society that have holes that need to be, you know, I would say holes that need to be patched in a sense. So it's not just, you know, it's not just the police portion. It's not just the racism. It's a bunch of things that need to be worked on simultaneously. I can't speak.
Simultaneously.
Thank you.
But this is specifically towards police.
Right.
That's what they're doing.
I understand that, but there's also other things that are going around this, which primarily I would say is the media. I think we need to start filtering the content because there's just so much negative nowadays that comes out from the media that creates this fear that's already existing, and sometimes it can be an overgeneralization, creating a large amount of fear, which fear in itself, it could either help you or it could harm you, right? It could push you forward or it could set you back, depending on the kind of person that you are. You know, in this case, you know, we seen what happens, right? When the media just overgeneralizes things, and I just think that we needed to look at all points of this nation and start just like executing on everything that's wrong, because everything comes full circle, you know. And I'm not saying that we're going to create a utopia here in the United States. I just think that we need to start working in all parts, whether it be the justice system, you know, the media system, all that.
Yeah, I mean, jumping off of that, I think first and foremost, race is a social construct, you know?
Oh, yeah,
so
for sure.
That in and of itself is already problematic. And then you have these, you know, fundamental flaws in the way things were written.
Correct.
So it's not necessarily that there are holes to be patched up. They were never written to, you know, protect everyone's rights. You know, before, what was it? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of land, not happiness. That's how it was originally written. And I think when you start looking away about history and how things really unfolded, I think it's important to kind of understand the way the history unfolded, not just in America, but outside of that, you know, because America itself is also stolen land. You know, our history is super short compared to a lot of other countries where they've gone through similar things, where their societies overthrew their governments. And I think it's difficult to find a government that is the perfect system.
Right.
You know, we're
exactly.
going to make a lot of mistakes, of course, but I think as a society, if we recognize those problems and we find solutions together to hopefully have the unity that you spoke about, then, you know, I think it's important to do that. And unfortunately, some of that may require violence, you know. As much as I don't want violence, I don't want people to be hurt. Why have more innocent bystanders? I think that's sad. But I do think it happens. I mean, if you look at Egypt when they overthrew their government, and if you look at places like Hong Kong right now and how the UK gave back Hong Kong to China, and Hong Kong's like, no. You know, a lot of shit is happening around the world, and I think as such a young country, it's not a lot of history to look back on, but the history you have is quite telling to how we got to where we are.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Even
No.
well, it looks like
Analytical.
looks like you're very entrenched in a lot of world history, which I think is dope, like world history. But even you didn't mention it, but even our country, there was rioting that made change. Like the most famous one, Boston Tea Party. You know.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Yeah. That's quite some time ago, but yes,
you know what I'm
it
saying?
had similar
But,
premise.
yeah.
It was violent.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so sorry for like bringing you into that's how the conversation flowed. You know,
You have to go with the flow.
you're such a gentle soul. I'm sorry for putting you in such a hard, you know.
Well, she's willing to go out there and protest. She's not too gentle. You got some spite in her.
Actually, yeah, of course, I wanted to show up in solidarity and support, but also my background is photography, so I wanted to be there to also document this moment, which I think is history unfolding right in front of us.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, there's a bunch of history that's been unfolding in the past 5 months.
In
This
this whole
2020
year, yeah.
has been fascinating year.
It's still giving us surprises.
I think every single month we're going to be making a little bit of history.
Yeah. I mean, we made positive history, I guess. SpaceX launched.
Yes.
People-
Did that happen yesterday?
Happened yesterday.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Successfully.
Yeah.
They had to delay it.
Did they dock on the station?
Yeah, they reached today. They reached. They finally. I think it was today or in the early morning. They reached International Space Station.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah, right. One step closer to going to Mars. So
Yeah.
we can finally get off this planet.
I mean, I don't know what's there on Mars for us, but, you know.
If it's good, it will be there, right?
Don't worry. Then people they'll never come back. So
Yeah.
no, it's a one-way stop if they ever.
Oh,
go to
really?
Mars.
Yeah, you cannot come back.
Oh man.
Yeah. Those people, no, it is a one-way stop.
I guess we're gonna have to analyze that when we get to that bridge.
No, you ever heard the plan like in 2050? I think it's a real thing. In 2050, they're gonna send about like it's a group of scientists and stuff only, like 20, 30 of them to start colonizing Mars, and it's a one-way stop. They never come back.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're gonna use the same ship that they, for like material and stuff like that. So that's scary.
That is pretty scary. Jesus Christ. Props to whoever's gonna be doing that in the future.
And they got reproduced together. You know, hey man, you gotta start somewhere, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I'm not sure.
Would you move to Mars?
I would definitely upload my consciousness.
Which, I mean, I think that's taking it a step further than Mars, right?
That's,
I would
you know,
too.
That sounds more realistic. That sounds more reasonable than going to Mars. I think.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Because
Yeah.
Mars is barren wasteland. That's like if you go. That's like saying you want to go to like colonize a desert. I guess that's possible. No, it's like going to like a Sahara Desert and colonizing.
Yeah, the
That's what it is.
conditions are pretty harsh.
Yeah.
You can't farm. Well, you can.
That's not
hardly
even.
farm.
That's not even worse because you can breathe in the Sahara Desert. In Mars, you
Yeah.
can't breathe without an apparatus. You know. So.
I'm not going to Mars. I'll stick with the upload my consciousness.
I don't think they'd want us to go to Mars because by the time they go, we'll be too old.
Right,
We
yeah.
might be cyborgs. I'm telling you.
Now they want like 20, 30-year-olds
Yeah.
in
I'm
20 years from
already
that line.
past the cusp. I'm like, sorry. I have to think about my alternatives, which is uploading my consciousness.
Yeah, like
Ooh, I wanted to ask a question before, and I'm sorry I didn't mean to interrupt you. So,
Go ahead.
as far as connecting, because I was going over your Instagram, and I was also looking at kind of like your style, the way that you dress. Oops, sorry about that. As far as the way that you dress, do you kind of link that to your art as well? Would you say?
Let's see.
Because it's a very unique style.
I mean,
I like the pants.
I'm about to go paint after this
Oh,
on
so-
the mural wall. So this is thank you. But I don't know if it's unique, but I do like to wear clothes that I enjoy. And many people have asked me about my artwork and if I would like to be, like, had I ever thought about being a fashion designer or something like this? And
So you got Yeezys.
my thought, it never crossed my mind. I just didn't think about it. So maybe one day I can do a crossover.
That would be interesting. I mean, especially coming from, your perspective of art, the way that you express it. That would be pretty interesting. You have to update us on that if you do.
You're saying you're painting a mural. What are you gonna?
Yeah,
where?
Right now in Springfield, there's a collaborative all female identifying mural, and I think it's 15 altogether now. It was initially 12 or 13 altogether, but we're all collaborating on it, and it's cosmic themed. And I've finished my figure on the wall, but I'd like to blend the background into the next artist's work, like kind of let it be more cohesive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. You also did the A in Arlington, right?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, reason I didn't find out. Well, actually, no. Art was similar, so and then I got confirmation that she did the same thing. I'm like, oh, and I confirmed it on Instagram. So yeah, I think it's that's actually really cool. Like collabing and all that. That's really cool. Like I didn't know. For the Arlington sign, was it each letter was different? No. I think one person had like 2 letters, right?
Oh yeah, one person had 2 letters for the lack of a number of panels on the wall itself. Yeah. But each individual artist had like a section and thus a letter. Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting to think about. It's kind of like a feature on a song. Oh. If you would, right?
Yeah. But I think it's cool. Yeah, collabing. It's really cool. Who's your favorite collaborator, I guess?
Collaborator?
I can't speak. I think my brain is too...
Maybe you need to have some coffee.
Right.
Did you have coffee today?
No, I didn't actually.
I should have got you some coffee,
we had no creamer.
Man.
Oh.
No. I think my brain is too big for my mouth because I can't say half the words I want to say.
You're thinking faster than you can get it out, perhaps.
Oh no, he gets it out pretty fast. I can hardly understand him sometimes.
Do you speak quickly?
Oh yes, he does.
I thought I was speaking quickly. Now I'm not.
No, it's very light now.
Okay.
I think you subconsciously toned it down on the cup.
I got the podcast tone.
Jesus Christ, I can't speak today, and I had coffee. See.
I got the podcast.
I forgot your question because we talked about
so many things, right? Oh, coffee. Well, speaking of coffee, downtown smells like coffee, and because they have
because of the Maxwell.
Yeah, I love that smell. To be honest with you,
I do enjoy it.
Right? Yeah. I always go down there.
If you're on the other side of the river, you can especially smell it because of the.
Have you ever seen this? That's the talking about the Arlington thing.
No, I've never seen that before. That's so dope.
Oh, you must drive by.
I shall.
Yeah, it's
actually we need to probably do a photo shoot over there. We haven't done a photo shoot, you and I.
We'll I guess together. Yeah.
Yeah, in a minute.
It's so dope. I love it.
Thank you.
My question was I remember my question. Who's your favorite collaborator?
That's what it was.
Like the R.
Actually, all of the artists involved, they are close friends of mine. So, and anyone that I met new in that experience became a good friend in that experience. So,
she has no bias.
Yeah, and they're all phenomenal artists. So it's nice to be next to them and with them. I think that kind of camaraderie is lovely. It's not a competition. We're there to create this meaningful piece of work that highlights the community over there. So, I mean, that was the mission behind it, and so it was lovely.
So, quick question for you, because I feel like within most genres of art, people kind of tend to piggyback off each other, off ideas and stuff like that, and as far as like styles of art.
Okay.
Do you have any sort of like inspiration from another artist that you personally take from, whether it be big artists, small artists, etc.?
Oh yeah, I mean I have I forgot his last name, but I think it's Taiyo Matsumoto. He did these Japanese animations. I don't know if he's created any new animated films in the recent time.
Oh, I know he is. Didn't he make Spirited Away?
No, that's Hayao Miyazaki.
Oh.
He is also an inspiration though, so perfect timing. Taiyo, he made Tekkon Kincrete, which was like pretty fascinating animated film back in like 2002 or 4 or something like this. Yayoi Kusama for her repetition of like shapes and forms. I really appreciate her work, and also if you've seen any documentaries about Yayoi Kusama, you realize the disparity between, you know, males and females on a local and international scale when it comes to the art world. I think the last time I looked at numbers, it was like museums and galleries only exhibit like 4 or 6% as a female artist. Everyone else is male. So the disparity is quite big, and I think she has really come a long way, and she was up against a lot, so she definitely inspires me as a female artist.
That's super nice. Super nice.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer of this, but I'm pretty sure you have some work displayed on like art walks and stuff like that. Well, technically work is displayed. No, you haven't.
I've never displayed at art walk.
What?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. It's hot outside. Like, I think that's my number one reason. I think murals are kind of killing me for that very reason. We live in Florida, and there's no relief from the heat.
Yeah, and the
so
humidity
hot.
just doesn't help.
Yeah, and I don't like to be like sweating, and you know, so that's probably the prime reason. Have I attended Art Walk? Yes.
Yeah.
Probably since, 2004.
Wow.
Do you know when they're gonna bring that back? Right? They kind of stopped it, right, because of the COVID?
Yeah, I think they stopped that, and Riverside's Arts Market, they stopped it, and I think now the way Art Walk has adapted for these unprecedented times is to create a virtual art walk. So where they highlight vendors that usually participate and, you know, showcase their work in various ways through live video feeds.
I'm gonna be honest. Fortunately, doesn't sound as pleasing. You know, walking and going in person,
You know,
right?
No, definitely not. But you know, I think people still want to support.
Oh, for sure.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a great opportunity for the people who would normally, maybe it would be either residual income or their main source of income. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your body art, because it seems like you got a couple tattoos.
I have quite a few.
So let's what do they mean to you? Like, because I personally haven't even seen them.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a back piece. That was my first tattoo I got when I was 18, and it's a large dragon.
Before is it the whole back?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, that's gonna be so dope.
And that was my first one. I was like, go big or go home, bitches. No, okay, but yeah. So I got that on my back, and I got it for many reasons. My past, I mentioned earlier, just prior to the podcast, that I never finished high school.
Yeah.
So in my teens, I was pretty reckless, and I made a lot of poor decisions. And so kind of getting that tattoo was a way for me to restart my life and look at it differently in a new perspective. So the dragon was almost like, this is my past life. It's on my back. I never see it.
It's like a rebirth, basically, of you.
Basically, yeah. And my Chinese zodiac is dragon. So
perfect.
it's
It correlates.
quite meaningful. My father has a dragon on his back as well. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
I'm a rat.
Are you?
I'm a rat. Yeah.
Are you going to get a rat tattoo?
I have zero tattoos. I doubt it though. But rats kind of.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting animal.
Yeah. Right.
But that means you're good with money.
Is that a fact?
Shit, I wish I was.
Maybe you will be.
Maybe you will be. You know, eventually.
You're getting there. Yeah.
So what about the rest?
The rest this is a tiger.
I cannot tell. Yeah. I cannot tell.
It's a white tiger.
There it is in the back.
I decided not to get it colored in because it's meant to be a white tiger. My daughter was born in the year of the tiger, so I
Okay,
wanted
for
to
her.
get something for her. A spider chrysanthemum and a peony here. These were all done by Colby Joyce at Black Hive Tattoo. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's there in Riverside.
Riverside.
Nick Wagner owns it. He's a longtime tattoo artist here in Jacksonville.
You said it's called Black Hives?
Black Hive, like
Okay.
a beehive.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, cool. Because I'm looking into my
Oh,
next piece. I have this little one right here, but I'm trying to get my half sleeve
Is it
done.
playable?
It's not, unfortunately.
Oh,
It's not.
okay.
I wish that it was.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed, but I was curious.
Yeah,
What-
I
what
looked
do you mean
into
playable?
those.
Like you can flex it and it'll move? That's
No,
what it
no,
means?
no, no. There, you can scan it and it'll
Whoa.
come out of the song. Or
Whoa,
yeah.
that's cool. What the heck?
Yeah, you can scan it, but typically those you have to use a special ink. I think
Okay.
that's what it is. That you have to use a special ink, and typically the tattoo can't be like really like big, kind of like this. It's typically a smaller tattoo.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I didn't go for it, or else I would have absolutely done so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I did not know you can do that.
Yeah. We
I
are
thought-
learning so much new things
Right?
today.
I thought, man, like if you flex, it'll move. You don't have to play with it.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, dang. But
Did I answer your question?
You sure did. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is Myra O, if you're wondering. She has swan tattoo, and so all of my work on the right side is Japanese inspired and or Asian inspired, and all of this work is going to be Scandinavian inspired for my mother's heritage. So this is kind of like Uroboros, but it's the Norwegian mythological version. And so I plan to have like this is called the Niparosen, which is my mother's from Trondheim, Norway, and that's their flower, like city's flower.
Nice.
So.
I heard it's beautiful in Norway. I want to visit.
It is
Whoa.
beautiful, but it is very cold.
It's what? No, I'm sorry.
Cold.
It's cold. I believe so. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
So maybe you want to go during certain time when it's not cold, and then brave it another time when it's freezing.
I'd probably still bring like a super thick jacket when it's hot.
Yeah, I would, just in case.
so apparently there's they
Yeah, you
mandated
got
a
it too?
curfew. Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Goodness.
What is it, 11?
8 p.m.
From 8 p.m. until 6 in the morning.
So it's 6 in the morning
Should-
till 8 p.m.
you think you should
No.
dip?
What time is it?
7.
It's 7.
It's 7? And I'm supposed to work on the mirror? Are they really going to enforce it, though, if I'm working?
They probably be like, yo, you gotta get, yeah. If they see y'all, they probably be like, yo, you gotta get out or
Like
something.
these street kids. Oh, you're right. There's an emergency alert. Is it an emergency?
Wait, so should I go to my parents after this?
I don't know.
It's got me thinking, man. I want
Hold
some free
on.
food.
Let
Just
me
a
check
second.
the group message
I'll risk it for
so
the
I
biscuit.
know. Let me see if they said anything about the curfew. Yep. I guess I'm not coming back out then. Damn. Okay.
So is
This
this because of
happens
the
live.
is this because of the protest?
I'm
Are they
pretty
gonna
sure.
arrest me if they find me after 8
No,
o'clock?
I doubt
mean,
it.
I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt.
I'm gonna be like,
They might
what are you
just tell me to
talking
go
about?
home.
I'm be like,
Yeah,
what
that's what I'm saying.
What,
Yeah.
what are you
gotta go
talking
home.
about?
They probably check your ID and then like, yeah, go home.
They can check my ID. I have nothing to hide.
With that being said, is there anything else that you want to put out on the floor about yourself? Anything that you feel you got to get out of your chest? Any marketing that you want to do for yourself? Feel free. The floor is yours.
You told me to shout out.
Yes. Yeah. You
Am I supposed to shout out myself?
You can do that. Yes.
Oh, well, in the future, I do have some murals planned, so that's exciting. And so I hope that if you follow me on social media or however you find me out there in the universe, that you keep track so you can see what I'm working on and visit with social distance and mask and say hi. It's a couple of local restaurants here in Jacksonville, so hopefully that's my next projects. I have a solo exhibition at the City Hall in Ocala that was supposed to be this fall, but it's been moved to next summer just because of everything going on. And potentially an exhibition out at the beach that will be quite, adapting to the new norm for now. But stay tuned for all of that. I'm going to post it on
On
my
Instagram.
Instagram and my website. Yeah.
Nice.
That's all.
Oh yeah, her Instagram
I think
and
that's all.
her Instagram and website are in the description down below. I
Yes,
made
they
sure
are.
of it.
Thank you.
No, thank you again. And, yeah, every time you're gonna thank me, I'm gonna thank you. Just,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it was it was a pleasure. Like I said, I know we got some heavy-handed topics. Appreciate you actually.
Yeah, coming out front and speaking on them.
Yeah, speaking about you and Quiver.
Thank you for asking. It's an important conversation to have.
Absolutely.
But important conversations to have, I think.
Yeah.
Important conversations. I guess thanks for wrapping it up. Apparently.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming out again. If you ever want to be on the podcast again, we love having return people because it's almost like like a pilot episode. The first one,
Yeah, exactly.
get to know you, and then second we can just talk about wherever you want.
Yeah,
like
V2.
a recurring thing.
Exactly. No, if you
Wow.
whatever, if you definitely want to do it just because you want to market your content, whatever it might be, you just want to come out, have fun, whatever you want to do.
I bring you more Japanese snacks.
Please.
And I'll bring you.
I have a sweet tooth.
I'll bring you some Mexican snacks eventually if I ever go to Mexico.
That's sweet. Thank
I
you.
can just buy some from the Mexican store.
Yeah, that's what you need to do
I
next
guess you
time.
could do that. You don't have to go all the way
That's
there.
Yeah, it's probably cheaper too that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miss Elena, it was a pleasure having you here. I can't thank you enough. I really can't.
Same. Thank you.
Thank you. But if you also follow us on Instagram, follow Ignorance of Bliss, subscribe down below, post notifications on so you know when we're going live. If you're watching it after, we appreciate you as well. Comment down below what do you think about this whole just anything in general, art, till protest,
Anything
everything
that we've spoken about.
even going to Mars. If you want, would you go to Mars? How about that?
Would you upload your consciousness? How about that?
Ooh.
Yes, I would probably maybe
Most definitely.
for not too long, probably like for a certain amount of time.
I would do the Neuralink from what's his name, so I would definitely upload my consciousness. I don't care.
All right, well, it was a pleasure. I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday.